This is something that I feel many of us struggle with, and it's also something that I feel is a kind of a lifelong journey, testing us to get stronger and more authentic actually in knowing what we want and putting that across in a way that is gentle to yourself and also to the other person. And when we do get that courage and confidence to move forward in asking for what we want, in saying how we feel, in doing what's right for us, then we kind of get on a roll, and we find that people actually respond quite positively. Now, I know that is not always the case, and sometimes people can be quite difficult. Is just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I love this one because this has come up so many times for me. And I have another workshop coming up, I think it's the September one, that's all about discovering what's your true values and what's going on underneath, which leads to your passion, your purpose. So do get in touch with the video for that if you can't make the class. So you've got that kind of syndrome of missing out, fear of missing out. So that can lead you into saying yes to things. And it can also lead you to saying yes when you're in a place where you're feeling really positive and energized, but later on you might be feeling less inclined, and then you're in a difficult predicament because you're wanting to say no. But when you get to know yourself more, when you start to practice a little bit more in doing it and being more authentic with yourself, you can start to say no before you actually say yes. Helping people is great, is wonderful, and making people feel good. But what detriment to you, your health, and your finances? So a little bit of acceptance, a little bit of boundaries, and also being responsible for your decisions. Everything is a choice, and you just have to weigh up which is worth it and which is not worth it. I trialed it with my sister, who actually said to me, anytime you want to cancel, anytime you don't want to do anything, it's absolutely fine. And even then, even when she made me feel so comfortable, so relaxed about it, I struggled. I would play it over in my head, I'd feel bad, I'd feel guilty. So when you're doing that to a big situation or somebody that you feel might have some conflict with, that is even more stressful. So build yourself up with your confidence and your self-esteem to get to that place. Another one was your social group. So sometimes it's really hard to say no to being invited out, or when you're already out and you are ready to go home and some people make it really difficult for you. It can be done in a very friendly way, it can be done in the fact that they genuinely want you to stay out, but sometimes it still can be quite tough, especially if people have been drinking, and it gets a little bit more boisterous. So always ask yourself, what other option is there? How else can I do it? Because you're entitled to make a decision any way that you want to. When is it that it is helping you? It's helping you to grow, and you're being around people that are very different to you, and it's quite interesting. And when is it actually damaging to you? So that's called the graceful gardener. When does a friendship become toxic? And you can find that on my website. I looked at the word rejection. So when we get a bit deeper into it, why do we really struggle? Maybe there's some rejection, some insecurity in ourselves and who we are. And you could look even deeper into this, into the primal side of us, that if there's rejection, then there's a possibility of survival, of losing our survival, because in a community back in caveman times, if we were rejected, we might be rejected from the whole community, and we need the community to survive.